Hi everyone, and welcome to Just a Multilingual Minute. We're going to talk about how to create an effective introductory video today. Introductory videos are normally very short, but they can also be very important because your introductory video may be the first impression that someone has of you as a teacher. Depending on your situation, your video may be watched by potential students or a potential employer. By the end of this video, hopefully you're going to have a better idea of what to include, how to organize your video, and how to make sure you present yourself professionally. So, let's get started. Before you write or turn on your camera, you need to answer one question. Who is going to watch this video? If you're planning to teach one-on-one, your audience is likely to be potential students or their parents. These students are trying to decide, do I like the teacher? Would I feel comfortable learning with this person? Can this teacher really help me improve my English? So your video should show your personality. It should give them an idea about your teaching style, your experience, how you can help them. But on the other hand, if you're creating this video as part of an application for a teaching position, your audience is likely to be a potential employer. In that situation, you'll want to emphasize your qualifications, experience, teaching skills, and professionalism. You can still show your personality, but you should think about what an employer needs to know about you as a potential employee. So, stop here for a moment and decide, am I speaking to potential students or am I speaking to a potential employer? That decision should guide the rest of your video. Now that you know your audience, let's talk about the goal. Your introductory video is not supposed to tell people everything about you. Think of it more like a preview. You want to give viewers enough information to become interested in you and understand what you can offer. If you're speaking to students, you want them to finish the video thinking, this sounds like a teacher I would like to learn with. If you're speaking to an employer, you want them thinking, this person seems qualified, very professional, and capable of teaching. So don't try to include your entire resume. Choose the information that's most relevant to your audience. And remember, you're not just giving information, you're making a first impression. The easiest way to create your video is to use a simple structure. I recommend 5 parts. First, introduce yourself, then talk about your qualifications and experience, explain your teaching style or professional strengths, explain how you can help students or what you can offer an employer, and then finish with a strong closing. That's it. You don't need a complicated script. Think of these 5 points as your roadmap. Write a few notes under each heading and then practice talking through those notes. Try not to memorize every word. You want to sound prepared, but you also want to sound like a real person. Let's start with the first part. Introduce yourself. Begin with your name. For example, hi, my name is Shamin Gasevich, and I'm an English teacher from the United States. Then give your audience a little more information. You might mention where you're from, where you live, your educational background, or something interesting about yourself. You might say, I've always enjoyed working with people from different cultures, and one of the things I love about teaching English is getting to know students from around the world. You can also mention a couple of appropriate interests. Maybe you enjoy traveling, playing music, reading, or learning languages. Why would you include personal information? Well, because your audience wants to see you, not just a list of qualifications. They can get that from your resume. For potential students, your personality can help them decide whether they would feel comfortable learning with you. For employers, appropriate personal information can help make you more memorable while still allowing you to demonstrate professionalism. But keep it brief. You don't need to tell your entire life story. Choose 2 or 3 things that can help your audience understand who you are. Next, talk about your qualifications and experience. This is particularly important when your audience is a potential employer, but it's also useful for students. Think about what makes you qualified to teach. You might mention your degree, your teaching certification, your TEFL or TESOL qualifications, your teaching experience, or other relevant training. For example, you might say, I have a bachelor's degree in education and a TESOL certificate. I've been teaching English for 3 years and I've worked with both children and adults. If you're new to teaching, don't panic. You don't need 20 years of experience. Think about other experiences that demonstrate your skills. Have you tutored, worked with children, volunteered, trained others, worked in an environment where cross-cultural communication was important? These experiences may be relevant. The key is to choose information that supports your purpose and, of course, be accurate. Your introductory video is not the place to exaggerate your qualifications or experience. Now let's get to something that's especially important for potential students. What are your lessons actually like? Imagine that I'm a student watching your video. I want to know what will happen when I take a lesson with you. Are your lessons relaxed, structured, conversation focused, interactive, grammar focused? Do you use games or activities? Do you give a lot of feedback? There are many different approaches to teaching, and there's no single correct answer. For example, you might say, my lessons are relaxed and interactive. I encourage students to speak as much as possible, and I provide feedback to help them improve their accuracy and confidence. Or, I like to create structured lessons with very clear goals. We work together on grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, and communication skills. The important thing is to explain your approach. And if you're applying for a teaching job, think about your teaching strengths instead. What do you do well? Maybe you're good at adapting lessons to different learners. Maybe you create engaging activities. Maybe you're comfortable using technology, or you build strong relationships with students. Whatever your strengths are, communicate them clearly. Now, here's an important principle. Don't make the entire video about yourself. Yes, you're introducing yourself, but your audience is asking, what's in it for me? If you're speaking to students, explain how you can help them. For example, if you're nervous about speaking English, I can help you build your confidence through conversation practice. Or if you need English for your career, we can focus on communication skills and vocabulary that you use in the workplace. Maybe you specialize in exam preparation. Maybe you work with beginners. Maybe you help students improve pronunciation. Tell them. And if you're speaking to an employer, answer a similar question. What can I contribute to your organization? This could include your teaching experience, adaptability, technology skills, classroom management, creativity, or ability to work with different types of learners. Be professional, but also be yourself. Let's talk about your presentation. You want to be professional, but you don't want to sound like a robot. Imagine you're meeting your audience in person. Smile, make eye contact, speak naturally, show enthusiasm. Let your personality come through. You don't have to become a completely different person just because you're recording a professional video. In fact, your personality can be one of your biggest strengths. But remember, professional doesn't mean boring, and friendly doesn't mean unprofessional. Find the balance. Be approachable, confident, and authentic. Now let's talk about the actual recording. Here's some good news. You don't need expensive equipment. A smartphone, tablet, or computer can work just fine. But there are a few things you should check. Number one, audio. Make sure we can hear you clearly. Find a quiet location and avoid unnecessary background noise. Number 2, lighting. Make sure your face is clearly visible. If you're using a window for natural light, face the light rather than sitting with it directly behind you. Number 3, your background. Keep it clean and relatively uncluttered. Your audience should be looking at you, not trying to figure out what's happening behind you. Number 4, camera position. Try to put the camera around eye level. And when you're speaking, look at the camera. Think of the camera as your student or your interviewer. Number 5, your appearance. Dress appropriately for your audience. You don't necessarily need formal business clothing, but think about how you would dress if you were meeting a student or an employer in person. These simple things can make a big difference. Here's my biggest piece of advice. Don't expect to get it right on the first try. Practice first. Use your outline and talk through your introduction. Then record yourself. Watch it. And don't just ask, did I say everything? Ask, can I hear myself clearly? Am I speaking too quickly? Do I look comfortable? Am I looking at the camera? Do I sound confident? Is my personality coming through? Is there anything I should remove or change? Then take the time to record it again. You may need 2, 3, or even 5 attempts. That's okay. The goal isn't to produce a perfect performance. The goal is to create a clear, professional, and authentic introduction. Before we finish, let's go over some common mistakes. Don't make your video too long. Your audience doesn't need every detail about your life. Don't read your script word for word. Use notes to guide you, but don't speak too quickly. Slow down and give your audience time to process what you're saying. Don't include irrelevant information. Everything you say should have a purpose. Don't forget your audience. Remember, are you speaking to potential students, parents, or an employer? And finally, don't try to be perfect. You want to present yourself well, but you also want to sound human. A small smile, a natural gesture, or a moment where you have a pause can actually make you seem more authentic. Okay, so now you're almost ready to record. Before you submit your video, run through this checklist. Audience. Do I know who I'm speaking to? Content. Have I introduced myself? Explained my relevant qualifications and experience? Have I explained my teaching style or professional strengths? Have I explained how I can help students or what I can offer an employer? Presentation. Can people hear me clearly? Can they see me clearly? Is my background appropriate? Am I looking at the camera? Do I sound confident and enthusiastic? And finally, does this video give people a positive impression of me as a teacher? If the answer to those questions is yes, you're ready. Now it's your turn. Start by deciding who your audience is. Potential students, parents, or a potential employer. Then create a short outline using our 5-point structure. 1, introduce yourself. 2, highlight qualifications and experience. 3, teaching style or professional strengths. 4, how can you help students or what do you have to offer an employer? And 5, a strong closing. Practice, record yourself, review the recording, make any necessary changes, and then create your final video. Remember, be clear, be professional, be yourself, and most importantly, think about the people watching your video. You want them to finish thinking, I want to learn from this teacher, or I want to know more about this teacher. So, Good luck, and I look forward to seeing all of your introductory videos.